Today's budget is without a doubt one of the worst that I have ever seen. And I'm not just talking about this from a financial perspective, but I'm talking about it from a compassion and caring perspective. You see, Rishi Sunak had the opportunity to help to ease the financial burden and pain of millions of households today. And what did he do instead? Nothing at all. We have the highest inflation as of today in over 30 years. And I'm not even going to tell you what the inflation rate is, because I believe it is a lot more than that, at least 50% higher than what the government is actually saying. And I believe it's going to get a lot worse, especially as we come later in the year. I believe this is going to get much, much worse. Now, what are some of the issues at the moment? It is, do you heat or do you eat? The energy price cap, which is done by Ofgem, is about to get released next week on the 1st of April. This is going to push up the average bill, household bill, by £600 to £700. This is huge. But not just that, again 6 months later, so in October, they are then going to increase the price cap yet again. So this could be another £500–600 again onto people's energy bills. I don't think a lot of people realize this, because the government doesn't talk about things like this. Oh, actually the cap's going to increase again in October. You're not really hearing this. In fact, I was really disappointed that a lot of the speech today was focused on Russia and Ukraine and the virtue signaling going on. How, you know, look what we've done all these sanctions, we're sanctioning the Russian government, we're doing all this, we're doing our part, and you know what, if that means that we have to suffer as a result, I think the people are going to come together and accept that. No, the people don't want to come together and accept huge increases to their food costs, to their energy costs, to their household, living costs. I think in the next couple of years, you're probably going to see anywhere from 20 to 25% reduction in your standard of living. I'm not exaggerating. By 2024, I think you're probably going to see 20 to 25% reduction in your standard of living. Now, what did Rishi Sunak say then? He said, we're doing all these great cuts to help the people. Not really. So here's the trick, okay? A lot of people, and look, no one will really understand this, so that's why I'm going to explain it. He's talking about, wow, look what we're doing. We're going to drop the tax for you, so your personal income tax, from 20% down to 19%. You're going to save all of this money. No, it's a trick. Why are they not doing it until 23, 24? We'll see what year they actually do it. Why are they not doing it until then? Here's why. Because they know that inflation is going to keep going up, and some of your wages will start to push up a little bit. Not crazy amounts, but they'll push up a little bit. They're not going to keep pace with inflation. What does this do? It pushes you into a new tax bracket, the 40% tax bracket. So a lot of people are going to get pushed up into the next tax bracket. And if you're already in that tax bracket, you're just going to pay more tax at the 40% rate instead of, for other people that were at the 20% tax rate. So really, you're not saving anything. The government is collecting huge amounts of tax, because what should happen is, as your wages are going up to manage expectations with inflation and the cost of living, they should reduce the taxes. You see, this is what they're supposed to do, reduce the taxes, but they're not. Instead, they're saying, we're going to give you 1% back to really help you out. It's complete nonsense. Now, the other thing he had the opportunity to do, which I was really thinking he would do, I thought he's going to do the right thing, and that is to cancel the increase to national insurance. I just thought, you know what, there's no way he can still go through with it. Not with what's happening to families. All these stories you're seeing on the TV and on social media where people are being interviewed, they're saying, I didn't eat a meal this week, I had to feed my children, I couldn't heat the home. These, elderly people have been dying at the moment, they didn't heat their homes. I mean, some of this stuff is shocking that we're seeing or not seeing on the mainstream media. So I thought, there's no way he's gonna just stop it. Nope, he's plowing ahead with this national insurance increase. I just can't believe it. But I will say he has increased the threshold on it. So before it was £9,600, now it's £12,570, I think he said. So what could he have done then to help people with the energy crisis and all these other things? Not say, hey, you're going to get a £200, grant and all this sort of stuff. Oh, but by the way, you have to pay that £200 back. What? That's not really helping anyone. What could he have done was what a lot of the opposition parties talked about, was to tax the oil companies who have made these huge windfall taxes over the last, couple of years, few years, just huge profits like you wouldn't believe. Did any of that happen? No, none of these costs have been passed on. What they could have done was the sort of 8% or whatever it is as of today that the government are getting from all of that as well, not even including 20% VAT. They could have cut back some of their share. The government could have took some of their share out of that. But did they? No. Why not? Well, probably because most of them own shares in these oil companies, or these oil companies are donors to the political party that they represent. This is why, it's just an old boys club. What else could they have done then? Fuel duty. Decrease the amount of fuel duty. Especially now we're past £1.60 per litre at the pump. The amount the government gets from that, I think you would be shocked if you don't already know. But it's a minimum of 90p out of that £1.60. So all of these increasing fuel costs are benefiting the government. They're making a fortune in fuel duty taxes. And then this is the thing that annoys me, and it's going to annoy you. So they put this huge fuel duty tax on. This is the fuel, this is the tax. They then add VAT, the 20% VAT, the value added tax, value no added tax, onto the fuel duty. So it's not just the fuel duty, they're taxing the duty. It's an absolute scandal. And yet, why does no one ever raise this from the opposition? Or why do they not do any, allowances to bring these costs down? Oh, look, we're making a fortune now at the fuel duty because the costs are rising. Let's just cut back on our tax. So we're making the same amount as before, but now it's just going to ease the burden on the people. No, they don't do that. They want to keep getting all of this money. And one thing that I thought may come into this year's budget was to help a lot of the drugs and the homelessness, a lot of the ex-military service people. Is the highest amount of people that are homeless on the streets are ex-military. Again, a statistic that most people aren't aware of. And I thought with, the £350 a month to house Ukrainian refugees, what about £350 a month to house an ex-service person who has served the country and is now on the streets? What about things like this? Maybe in the future, the politicians might, look after our own people as well as helping refugees from around the world. Thanks for watching today. Really appreciate it. Take care. God bless. See you next time.